What is going on, you guys? So today we have the great Ian Matthews in the building. He's our special guest for episode number 10, and he is a very accomplished musician, and we will be talking all sorts of craziness today. So thank you very much for liking, subscribing. Thank you all for your support. You all are a bunch of silly gooses. Now let's get to that episode. Here we go. Enjoy. Can we hear without fucking stuff that? Check. All right, we're good. You gonna clap for me? It's gonna line up real good. Yes, we're doing it. What's up, man?
Doing it, man.
Dude, this place is nice, right? I have to brag. I gotta boast a little bit.
No, you should.
I should. I'm sweaty.
Something like but you're in a gym.
Dude, I have like fucking 4 cups of coffee.
If you weren't sweaty in the gym, I'd be like,
are you okay?
How's your business doing?
Do you do any work?
They'd be like, hey man, you come into my studio. You got any music?
Nah, man. We do it silent.
I got everything but the music.
Dude, if that's been a thing for me, is like music with people. It pumps them up. You know?
Yeah. Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
you know that better than most.
Have you ever had anybody with a weird gym playlist?
Yes. I've had somebody come in here, I swear, and they were like, you know what? Do you do you have like a smooth jazz? And I was like,
sick.
Yeah, we could do that. And it was like he's benching, it's like and I'm like, here we go.
I was at the dentist. I got my teeth drilled. I had some fillings that came out. My tooth cracked and shit. But I'm over there, and I had my headphones in. They're like, oh, you can put your music on if you want. And I was like, you sure? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, okay, cool. So I put it on. It was Frank Sinatra. And they just looked at me and they were like,
that's nice though, right?
The Sinatra,
dude, that's a nice like feel.
It was very calming. Yeah,
to be able to be like, yeah. Sinatra is what we're doing.
I love it. I love my dentist. Yeah, they're great.
Well, I just got a Sam Cooke album.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm like a huge Sam Cooke fan.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about this. So I've been listening to if you got 14 new views on just Ashtray, it's because I've been listening to it on like repeat, annoyingly so.
Yeah.
And I've been sending it to people. They're like, yo, I've heard that song. Like, what the fuck's
You're
wrong
not
with
the first person to say
Yeah, I've been like, it's my favorite song. Yeah. So then I'm like sitting there, I'm like, yo, I sent it to my girlfriend, sent it to everybody. They're like, yeah, dude, you already sent me this. Like, I get
awesome.
This. So, dude, seriously, respects, love it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So I bought the Sam Cooke song, or the album, listening to it at my house. Record, love it. Let's scoot in. Let's get intimate. So I love it. And all the songs, you play it through and through.
Front to back.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful voice, everything. So I remember as a kid, which then brought me back to knowing you as a kid.
Yeah.
Because I remember you were a weird little dude, man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Dude, you were a weird little dude, and I was a weird little dude.
Yeah.
Like, I was a weird older dude. But still, I mean, that's what got me. It was like, I remember, like, seeing you kind of come into yourself like as a young person. And I remember your brother, who I liked very much. Dude, I thought he was freaking awesome. And it was just like weird conversations.
Yeah, he was a very intelligent dude.
About music, about everything. He would have like something to say that like you'd be like, what did he just say? Did he just talk about Syria? What the hell did he say? You know what I mean? You'd be like, what?
Yeah.
And so you come from like this weird, creative background.
Absolutely.
So kind of walk me through also what music were you listening to then? Like, what were you doing then?
All right, so I remember like my father, my grandmother, my grandfather were guitar players. They played in like a country and western band.
Yeah,
which I always thought was cool, because the genres didn't get passed down really. Like they played country and western. My father was a rock and roll guy, so he played rock and roll music. So as far as I can remember growing up, you walk down the stairs. You couldn't walk from my room to the living room without passing by like 2 guitars, either like on the wall in the corner. Just that was his idea of decorating a house, was having guitars on the walls.
That's dope. That's so dope.
We ended up obviously getting into. He had a drum set in the basement. I actually just posted a picture the other day. I was probably like 7 or 8, and I was like playing this big ass guitar, and I was playing a drum set, and I was like, damn, I've really been doing this for forever.
That's dope.
So he would buy us toys, and or like skateboards, I remember, and he would be like, I got you this new skateboard, and if you want to go out, I need to see a G chord, a D chord, a B chord, a F chord, a A chord. And it sounds kind of military.
No,
you know,
that sounds
like,
great to me, bro.
We showed the interest in it, so he was like, well, I'm going to show you that, like, if you really want to do it, if you want to learn, just learning the guitar itself, like, it fucking hurts.
Yeah.
So, like, I remember being like 7 years old, sitting on the toilet in the not shitting, but just because
you waited when I was drinking to say that shit.
Because I don't know why I remember it, but I was in the bathroom and I wasn't taking a shit, but I was just sitting on the toilet, and I think it was because the only chair that didn't have arms or something, but and I was trying to play this full size Fender Stratocaster that was just way too big for me, but I was like, just so I can go out and like play.
Yeah.
It was like, but. He would also take us downstairs, and he'd be like, all right, pick a record. He would have a bunch of record crates. We'd pick a record, and like one day it's like, okay, we're going to learn about Frank Zappa today. Okay, now next day we're going to learn about Janis Joplin. Now we're going to learn about the Supremes. Now we're going to learn about Motown. And like it was always something different. Stevie Ray Vaughan, Clapton, Hendrix. So I remember like really taking to Hendrix because I was like, this guy's just different. The way he dressed, the way he looked.
Different.
I always thought that like, you know, the 70s guys when they dressed, or like the 60s guys, it was very like clean cut. You know, they had the suits and they had the guitars, and it was like, you know, like, and then I'm like, oh my God, this guy's fucking sick. And then you dive deeper, and you dive deep into who else was playing with, and then you learn about Woodstock and all this stuff. And it's like, oh, this was a completely different world.
Yeah.
So like that was what I grew up on, or like like a lot of blues, Muddy Waters, B.B. King. Like I remember like really thinking B.B. King was a king at one point because like
you were like, his last name was King.
Just the way my father talked about him.
Oh, that's
like,
even better.
So like
glorified the beauty of the music
like
and the man.
Guys, I brought a 72 Fender Stratocaster to show and tell when I was in like third or fourth grade, and I taught them, and I was like, and this is why Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jimi Hendrix, and Clapton are the greatest guitar players of all time.
And you like pointed, like, yeah,
I was like 8. Remember, I carried the guitar, like, oh, you know. But,
dude, that's
that
amazing.
Was the type of shit that I grew up on, you know. And then I got into different genres, just finding out about like, I remember my kind of cousin who was into like sampling, and I was like, oh, you could take this jazz record and turn it into a hip hop record, like what the and then, you know, you dive deep, and I was like how we just kind of talked about, when I find something, I dive super deep. So if I found a new genre, I was like, I got to know everybody in this genre that's worth knowing.
But you should, because then it makes you so much more knowledgeable in the situation, and it helps you kind of hold your own. Like I think like you can dive deep into things, like anything. You know, I'm annoyingly good at a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I'm not great. Like I'm not great. So you're diving like super deep, and that's what I've noticed with your music. Like, cuz it was like, okay, we're getting, you know, the singing aspect with the voice. Then we're getting the rap aspect. Then we're getting the good, you know, the fun music, which is what I want to talk to you about a little bit, is like that it's fun, you know, that it has that feel to it, that like where you're like nodding your head. And what I did was I put it on. I was like just chilling with my cats. It sounds more depressing than it is, but I was just chilling with my cats. I was just like making dinner, and like I'm a big like, how are you feeling when you listen to music?
Oh,
and dude, like we were saying, like I would listen to that Sam Cooke album back. I'm just like in my own, like I loved it. I was listening to James Brown, dude. You want to talk about pumping up? I work out to James Brown, dude. That dude, Payback.
Ooh, yeah.
Dude, I make sure I open the door right when he's like, payback. Like I like walk in. Dude, I wish I had elevators. I wish I had elevator shoes. All of it. I need it because I'm a little shorter. But where God took away inches, He has added. Anyway, so but like music does that, and I think it's such a special thing.
Yeah,
you know. So
there's a lot of songs that I won't remember a lyric in them, but I remember how I felt when I heard it, and that's what will make me go and check it out.
Oh, dude, that's,
you know, like it's kind of like that thing where you're like, yo, what was that song we were listening to in the car? Like, I don't know, how did it go? You're like, fuck, I don't know, but I remember I was jamming, I was fucking like,
it felt good.
I was like, this is my song.
You're
know?
like, it hit me here, or like where it hit you in your body.
Yeah, it's
different. People who introduce you to new music are so important.
Oh.
Like I have my cousin Matt. You know, we're, as far as like in our spirits, we're the same. You know what I mean? Like he's so different from me, like look wise, but we're the same when it comes to music. Like just introducing stuff. Like he introduced me to this band. It was like Ghost, and it was like, it's like this like metal band. They like painted skulls, and they got the priest hats, and it looks like you're like, what?
Yeah.
Fuck am I looking? And then, but then you listen to the music, and you're like, damn, this is actually really good, and it's not what you thought it was going to be. So the looks are deceiving. Yeah. So it's important to have people that introduce you to new songs. and just introduce you to new things. I remember I hated looking at Post Malone. Like I just like, fucking this dude always, whatever, tired, whatever. I'm like, dude, screw this guy, this dirty, you know what I mean? And then I'm like, and then I listen to him and now I'm like I love him.
Let him be dirty.
Hey, let him be dirty. Let him drink, Pabst Blue Ribbon.
If this is what I'm getting when he's dirty, I want this guy as dirty as we can get.
Smoking just mad sick.
Straight Marbs.
It's insane. He's biting off the filter.
On Marbreds,
just smoking Marbreds. Dude, they had, it was like
47 years of Marbreds.
That's what I'm saying, but he sounds amazing.
Yeah,
so
he has this cool thing that he does.
He's like, they're like, what was that? And he's like, Philip Morris Company, which is Marbred Company. Which I was gonna say, bro, for that song Ashtray that you have, you should reach out, be like, hey,
I quit smoking.
Oh, you quit smoking? Yeah. Oh, fuck! Now you can't do that, dude. They're gonna be like, "Do you smoke?" And you're like, "You need to start smoking again."
The first person I ever met that was fitness guy. It was like, "Quit smoking? Fuck, dude.
Bro,
what do you mean?
You need to fucking start smoking right now."
You just gave up a ton of money, bro.
Yeah. How dare you? How dare you? But
what's 8-9 years off your life, dude? You be paid.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just kind of. I'm so proud of you. I think you did a really good job. Congrats, your daughter. That's great.
No, I still smoke every now and then.
Seriously, you should smoke. Is it a creativity thing?
So I've for the whole time I've been making music, I was a smoker.
Mm-hmm.
So to learn how to sing while I'm not smoking is actually surprisingly hard. I'm having to relearn kind of things because I did a little bit of research, and apparently the nicotine, the same way it calms your nerves, it really calms your vocal cords and stuff.
Calms everything, so you're not shaky voiced.
Yeah, so like I can go outside, have a cigarette, and come back and sound almost better than I sounded before. Or at least more control, which is
I gotta do that
weird,
too, bro.
Really fucking weird.
Should I do that too?
No, absolutely not. I don't recommend it for anybody.
No, tell me I should do that. Do you think I should do that?
Smoke the whole pack, kid.
Just like, all right, we're doing bench press today. Yeah,
but no, I quit smoking. It was just something I wanted to do myself.
What did you smoke?
I was smoking 27s or Camel Blues.
Dude, I smoked Newport 100, son.
Well, that was how I stopped. That was how I quit. I first started smoking menthols, then I fell in love with like 27s and the taste of Camel Blues.
Dude,
But now when I smoke a cigarette, I hate the taste, but I just do it strictly for like the fact that I'm like I need it.
Yeah, I still. Okay, it's been like 10 years, bro. Maybe not that long. Maybe like 8 years that I've like smoked a cigarette. And I was the guy that I would smoke a cigarette and then go do 3 rounds and beat the shit out of somebody, or get my ass beat too. That which was more likely.
Give and take.
More like I would whoop his ass, get my ass beat. So having that, I had a coach, and he caught me smoking. Me and my boy Mike, we ran around the corner, and I was smoking, and he's like, "I saw you. I'm like, "You didn't see? He didn't see shit."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Get in the ring," and he made me fight a fresh fighter. So it was every round for 6 rounds, and at the end you were dead. But at the end I was dead. But you can't really beat a fighter up too much, because then at the end I went outside and I smoked, and he's like, "What the hell's wrong with you? That's why I did all that." I'm like, "Yeah, coach, I'm fine. I could do this all day."
Out, coach.
Yeah. And I was just like, no, I definitely can't. I'm not Felix Trinidad. I'm sitting there smoking cigars in there.
I mean, part of that too is I quit because being on stage now, it's like
you were out of breath.
Yeah, I don't want to give a whack show. I'd rather it's like I'm actually I was like, we could probably talk about it. I might probably hit you up for some cardio routines and shit because I really got to work on.
You need to, dude.
No,
those dudes have trainers and they travel with them.
No,
I got offered that actually.
It's a real thing.
Yeah.
Because like if you're in the entertainment industry, your job is to entertain, and like I don't even like to look at it's always competition, they say, but I don't like to look at it like that. But if you do look at it from that standpoint, like if you look at it like, cool, you got the music, cool, you got the look, cool, you got whatever. But if this guy's gonna last for a 45-minute show, no fucking, he's gonna walk off the stage with a little bit of sweat, and he's gonna be good, and you're gonna walk off the stage and puke.
And you're like,
I've thrown up on stage.
You have thrown up on stage?
Like not like I've ran off and puked and came back on, but like it's been like,
yeah,
because I don't that's between the adrenaline, the excitement of just being on stage, and then you see people reacting to you. It's like it's euphoric. It's weird. I remember the first time that I heard a crowd full of people sing "Ashtray." I cried. I'm not kidding. I cried.
I love that.
Then I fucked up the song because I was like, "Yo, I'm sorry, guys." But
no, bro, they probably liked it.
I was
though.
like, "You just fucked me up." I was like, "We're gonna have to run that back," but this was insane.
I saw Black Label Society Well, I saw Zach Wilde, and I've seen him like 3 times.
Oh, really? Wow.
So I'm a huge fan. Zach Wilde, absolutely amazing. Dude plays
insane,
fingers bleeding
Definitely
and everything.
One of those people that my father told me about.
So it goes like this: we're in Connecticut. There is not a single person who is not yelling his song, and it's Fired Up. He starts everything with Fired Up. He's going crazy, right? He's pounding his chest, and they're still playing the music, and then he stops playing the guitar, and he's like, and he's just wiping tears away from his face. And he's like, I love you guys. He's like, you guys are the best support, everything. So I'm like,
think about it,
bro. It was amazing. And that dude is massive. That is a massive human being. And just to see him do that, I remember like, this is amazing, and I was hooked.
Yeah.
But the only problem with that concert is that everybody's wearing black or a jean jacket with a Iron On Black Label Society, the gear, metal, all that stuff, right? My dumb ass is in a white shirt, and security is in white shirts. So I'm the only one. My brother still tells us. Bro, Papa, everybody thought I was security. So I was getting, everybody's going crazy.
Like wearing a red shirt at Target.
I'm like, and this dude's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, okay. But after the 5th time, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, it must be because I'm a big guy. Oh, dude, I was a ham then. I was like 230, just fucking fat. I was just like, I was working out, but I was
like,
also
this guy's
eating.
definitely content security.
Yeah, he is. And my brother was dying. Dude, I got a free drink. I went to the bartender. I'm like, Jack and Coke. And she gave me a Jack for free. And then the guy comes over to me. He's like, he has the mic on the thing. Yeah. And he's like, I'm going to go over there, okay? And then you go around the other way. And I was like, okay.
Where was this?
Dude, that was at the Webster. And my brother is like, dude, this is hilarious. You need to just go with it. But after the guy told me to go over there, I was like, no, man, I just have a white shirt on.
I don't want. Let me quit while I'm ahead.
I have a white shirt on. Yeah, he was like, "Oh no, okay, sorry," and I was
bartender's like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah, I was like, yeah, there's that $14.
Just don't tell the bartender.
Yeah, no, don't. And she's super hot, face tattoo and all.
Ooh, nice.
Oh yeah, no, really though. I mean, it's nice, but you're gonna introduce her to your mother. Are you gonna introduce?
My mom's open. My mom's cool.
Oh, she'd be like, "Oh, you're cool."
No.
Yeah. Who's Damien?
Oh my god.
Who is Damien? Tell me who Damien is. You're like, oh, that's the name of my son. Well, good. I'm glad you got it on your face. But it's backwards, so when she looks into the mirror.
He's in the car. You want to meet him?
Yeah, would you like to meet him? He's a really nice boy. He's 15, and I'm 25, so you do the number on that.
Oh my god. I remember the day I told my mom that I was having a kid.
How old were you? How old were you said these words?
22.
You were 22?
21, because I had my daughter at 22.
Bro, you just had your first sip of alcohol? You're like, baby time.
No,
yeah.
I was funny because I went to church with her.
All right, dude, now don't. You said church. Now we can't.
I had this plan. I was like, I'm going to tell her.
I'm going to go to church with her.
And I was like, all right, so let me tell her we could go out to lunch or something. And I didn't know she was in a hurry.
This is going to be great.
She was like, all right, so so we end up at Subway. I'm like, I'm not going to tell my mom. Like,
yeah, we eat fresh, man.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell my mom, And then so in the car, we were just talking. I was like looking at her. I was like, yo, ma. And I just told her, and she just kind of she looked at me, thought I was kidding and shit, but it's a boring story.
You're like, my shit is potent. I touch a girl, pregnant. Yeah. No, but when you told her, is it like,
She didn't believe me at first. At first, she was just like, oh shit. You know what I mean? At first, she was like, wait a minute. Like, she had to process. There's a lot to process.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. You're 21.
But she was down to ride. She was cool.
Oh, well, I mean, like my mother, I mean, like, she's like praying for the day that I call. Yeah. I mean, like, fuck.
I think she was too. I think she was just so surprised at the time. Like, just wasn't like what she thought was going to happen, So it was like.
Is your daughter into music?
Oh my god, dude!
That's so awesome.
Yeah, it's insane.
See, that excites me.
She asked me the other day. She said, because she was like, "Daddy," so because I kind of like try to explain to her what I do, and she was like, so she asked me like, well, basically, how do you make money? And I was like, there's so many different ways you can make money in this industry, and one of them was like people sell songs. Like I was explaining to her how somebody sells a song or becomes like a songwriter. She was like, well, can I buy a song off of you? And I'm like, you can't. I mean, what do you want?
Yeah.
She was like, well, I want to have a song. I want to make a song. I'm like, okay, well, what do you want to do? And so then she's like, well, you write it and I'll sing it. I'm like, okay. And be like, dude, I'll put on like some serious singers. And like, she's not like, excelling insanely, but like, it's like, she's definitely hitting notes that I'm like, whoa, like she's like Whitney. So I put on Whitney. She hit a note.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh. You know,
Like,
listen in the
goddamn.
background. She
Yeah,
likes
girl.
a lot of like. She'll ask me to put on different things. She loves Miley Cyrus. She loves like the Rent soundtrack because
Yeah.
I put her on that. Like
That's a good sound. That is a good
it's an amazing
soundtrack.
soundtrack.
That's a good soundtrack.
That's one of my top 10 albums of all
Yeah.
time, I think. But she, she's just really in tune with it. She does like little dance routines and stuff like that. She wrote her own song the other day, and like she wouldn't sing it in front of me. It was the cutest thing, right? But I was like,
She's like, go in the other room.
yeah. She wouldn't even let me hear it at first. She only let her mother hear it. And her mom was just like, well, she knows that you do this for a job. She's like, she knows that this is like something that you really take serious. So she's kind of like, you know, embarrassed of not. It might not be good. And I'm in my head, I'm like, so she starts singing it.
Bro,
and it was so weirdly deep, bro. I was
Yeah.
like, wait,
Did you
where?
cry? Did
yeah,
you cry?
I was definitely emotional. Yeah,
I would be
I
emotional.
was definitely like, wow, this is awesome. Just with the fact that she showed, and I don't push her at all. Like if she wanted to be a doctor, if she wanted to be a soccer player, like she could do whatever she wants. I'm not gonna be like, you have to do the music thing.
Yeah.
Like, but I just make sure that it's readily available if she wants it. That's like the one thing that I know about. I know I can give you information. So like, if it's there and you want to do it, let's rock. You know?
Yeah.
You know, so she's trying to get over her like stage fright and like the stuff like being in front of people. But
and for you, I mean, is that like a situation? Like I said, get past the emotions of it, and you're just like, you know, you're like laying up at, you know, in bed or whatever, and you're just like, man, I love that. That's so good. Like not to say that you would have to push them to do it, but you're just like, that's dope. Like you tried it. That's great.
It has nothing to do really with like me wanting her to have that career. It's the fact that it's like, oh, that's one more thing that we connect on. Like she comes to me.
I want kids so bad. I'm gonna have kids right now.
And she's like, hey, do you know? She asked me the other day. She was like, do you know who? She said, do you know who Stevie Wonder is?
Ooh, I love Stevie Wonder.
Do I know? I was so excited. You know what I'm saying?
You were like, do I know?
One of the first things that first groups that she knew is like, I'll be, you know, you could ask her like, hey, who's a Big Boy in Andre 3000? She's like, Outkast.
Dude. They're amazing.
The Miss Jackson video, she watched it back, you know, all the time, and then Roses.
And
like,
dude,
all that stuff.
Yeah, but like the whole album, same thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Like when that's another good album. That's an amazing album. Mm-hmm. So when I heard Outkast for the first time, obviously, like I said, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson, and everything, but then I bought it, and it was like bought it at Strawberries in Torrington, Connecticut. Oh, dude, I went to Strawberries, bought the shit out of it, and I remember. Like got the explicit, you know, all that stuff, absolutely. And I was like, dude, you remember that getting explicit albums, and then like your friend who didn't, and he'd be like, he's like, I'm not a player, I just crush a lot. You're like, motherfucker, that's not what he said. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, see, for me, it was like the Blink-182, like Enema of the State albums and stuff. Like,
see, that's how I remember you. That's how I remember you, bro. Yeah. I'm old as fuck. I got grays.
I remember the cassette having it. A buddy of mine got it from his sister, and he brought it over. He's like, dude, there's so many bad words on this. like straight up, like straight up, like
people say bad words.
Yeah, like there's so much, like
so many bad
there's
words.
Like definitely don't let your mom find this.
Yeah.
And actually, I remember having like a secret stash of parental advisory CDs that like it was like having drugs in your room. You know?
Oh, dude, yeah. I think it's worse than having drugs in your room. Your parents are like, "What did he say on there?" And you're like, "I have weed in my closet. If you want to go look at that instead."
There's no stopping it now because like.
Well, I mean, is it though? I mean, right now we have so many things that are under attack, and that was one of my questions. That was one of my big questions for you. Is, you know, are the arts protected? You know what I mean? I think they should be. You know, obviously, I think that movies and artists, and I think that you all should be very much so protected as far as with the freedom that you have in your music, mm-hmm. and just with anybody.
Yeah.
Because you heard they came after man. They came after Eminem.
Yeah. That's actually one of my not favorite conversation, but the most interesting conversations I have because I think there's a psychological aspect to it.
Okay.
Because if he came out today with songs like Stay Wide Awake, mm-hmm. or pretty much any of the old ones.
You could say any.
Yeah, with a lot of the ones that he was like, I don't think it would work. And
for sure.
I don't necessarily understand why it worked before. Maybe because people weren't aware, or maybe there was some understanding of like it was so outrageous we almost know that he's not being serious. But I
think there was a little bit more.
The shock factor was so like rebellious to us.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit more, like you're saying, the shock factor. But I also think that people had a better grasp on, oh, he's a performer, like oh, he's an artist.
Yeah.
And I think right now people take everything so literal, and people take things way out of context. And what is it? The song with Rihanna, "Love the Way You Lie."
Yeah.
I talked about that last week.
That's what sparked the
It did.
the whole
The TikTok
house on fire,
where
right?
she's like, I'm gonna tie that bitch up and light the fucking house on fire.
Yeah.
So that line, I mean, I said he plays a abusive boyfriend. He's playing the part to show us all.
I agree with that.
What it is.
Yeah.
And even
there's also exaggeration in writing, like Biggie.
Huge.
Like what did Biggie say? Don't you know my homie gutter fucking kidnap kids?
Yeah.
Fuck 'em in their ass, throw them over the bridge, or like just shit like things like when he did Dead Wrong. Like,
yeah.
you know, like, it was just so overly.
That's a banger.
Yeah, but and to me, like I feel like everybody should have the right to say what they want, but they also have to be, aware of the
consequences,
the state of be aware of the fact that, like, dude, like there might be people that don't like it and they might come for you, and like a lot of people are coming at cancel culture, and I get it, but you can't fix it. You can't come at society for doing what they do. It might be fucked up to some people, but there's a lot of people now that are just like, yo, when I walk into a business, it's almost I want to be like, I almost want to know now who the owners are. I want to know where I'm spending my money. Are you a good person? Do you deserve me to
you deserve my business.
Your business?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are feeling the same way with the music they listen to, because like, with the R. Kelly thing, it was really hard for a lot of people.
I can't believe that went.
I still can't, man. I can't listen to his music and feel right. And I don't really hold it against people that do. I don't. Like, just me personally. I
said that at the barber. Obviously, you see I'm fresh right now. I went to the barber shop. I said, he was listening to R. Kelly. I'm like, do people still listen to R. Kelly? He goes, bro, everybody listens to R. Kelly. I'm like, all right.
So, and the thing about it is I almost wish that he didn't write his own songs, because then I would be able to say, like, I'm doing it for the appreciation of the writing. And, like, there's still a huge appreciation. But you know what I'm saying? Like for me, I think, like, somebody like a Morrissey.
Yeah.
Like, just a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Asshole.
Yeah.
He's just showed himself throughout the years just a straight up asshole.
Yeah.
And for some reason, that wasn't enough to make me stop listening to the Smiths.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
I'll still listen to the Smiths and appreciate it for what it is, knowing this dude is an asshole.
Yeah.
I'm not as vocal about my, like, appreciation for it as I would be somebody who I think is a genuine good person.
Yeah, yeah. Well, of course, you're going to be more congratulatory to.
So that goes back to, say what you want, do what you want, but know
there
that
is consequence.
The core of public opinion is real.
I like that, because I say that all the time. I'm very careful with my speech.
You have to be.
And I'm not careful like I'm afraid to step on your toes. I'm careful that I'm sharp enough to defend what I said. Yeah. So the thing is if you said something, be prepared that people are not going to like it.
Yep.
When I put this podcast together and I wanted to branch away from my company, I said, I might say some things, and then somebody will go, did you say this? And I'm going to go, yeah, I did. So, for me, it's like, yeah, that's what I'm here for. I'm here because I like life. I'm a very grateful person. I work extremely hard. So for me, my speech, over many years, I've been more careful to be able to defend it. And for me, I think Eminem is validated in, like, hey, I'm kind of here to piss you off a little bit. Yeah. And I think a guy who has hit something head on, but we don't even talk about, when do we talk about, Tekashi 6ix9ine? When do we talk about Cardi B? When do we talk about, Nicki Minaj? When do we talk about, like, and I'm not attacking, it's just like
the people that are causing the controversy and the controversial conversations that are making people uncomfortable in the industry.
Bro, it's like, what are we doing here? Mm-hmm. Let people do what they want to do. But when it's time and they get on the mic, it's like, hey, what did you mean by this? Yeah. And if they can't defend it, let them sink. Yeah. And if they can, let them swim.
I think that's why I love Cardi and Megan, because they were able to defend it. They were able to defend. Like, you can't say, you really can't. You can't say anything, because I remember being 16, 17 years old, She lick me like
yeah. Oh, dude, I love
slap on my neck.
yeah, like going on the cup. Yeah,
like I can tell you, I can think of so fucking many right now off the top that were just so outrageously
crazy,
misogynistic, or just like, you know, just the entire time you're just like, oh my god, like I just what did I remember my mom walking in on me one time like, singing like some G Unit lyrics, and she was like, excuse me,
what did he just say? And you're like, nothing. I had to clear my throat. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like it's. You can't be mad at one and then
I
mad
do
at
not.
the other, you know. So it's
don't play the double standard.
Yeah, to me it's that's, you know, there's people that paint that paint sexual pictures, and those sell for millions of dollars, and people hang them up in their house.
Yeah,
like some people really look at the human body as art. They look at sex as art. They
Bro.
look at, you know, it's all in the eyes of the beholder. And I think the problem with people is the same people that are talking about cancel culture, that it's bad, or like the same ones that are like, I don't want my kid to see this. It's like, well, don't fucking let your kid see that.
Then you have the right to go, hey, don't look.
There are many opportunities now. I know, because I have a 6-year-old, on how to block what comes in on there. My kid's got an iPad. You know, I know what's going on there. Like, we monitor it every month. I check in to see what apps. I let her download her own apps.
Yeah,
let her do it.
Yeah.
You know, but I want to see
what's going on.
I look and I
because
tell
you're
her
a good
why
parent.
I need to delete this and stuff like that. But you know, I mean, she hears the radio, she hears things, and if I'm not scared to say something. I'm not scared to tell her like that's something you need to learn about later.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, she's well aware that there's a different life between mine and hers.
Yeah.
And that you learn things on the way, and like at the age of 6, you're allowed, not allowed, but like, these other things aren't important to you right now. You don't need to know about what they're talking about. You know, like, and she accepts that, which I think I'm blessed about, because a lot of times she's like, okay, like I'm cool with that. But I do fill her in on other things that maybe you won't fill a 6-year-old in on. But like that's the give and take. You know, where like I had a parent teacher conference the other day. It was like 2 days ago on Zoom.
Yeah, and that's so weird to think of you in a parent-teacher conference.
So weird,
isn't it? It's weird for me.
It's weird, man. But and she said, she was like, your kid is a leader. She was like, your kid is like a natural born leader.
You're like, no shit.
Yeah, I was just so psyched, because she was just like, you know, she was like, she's mature. Like the conversations I have with her are not necessarily the conversations I have with other children.
Yeah.
She's like, but I can talk to her as if she's and I was like, that's because we've done that the whole time.
Yeah, I talk to my nieces like that. They have very engaging conversations, and it's not so. Yeah, it is odd. You know, my niece will ask me like questions, just very strange, not strange, but just questions that I'm not ready for a 6-year-old or a 7-year-old or even a 13-year-old. She's getting older now, and it's, you know, there's 2 of them, and Adrian, shout out to Adrian and Athena. Yeah, you know, when she'll ask me, she'll be like, you know. She asked me about death one time.
Oh, yeah,
and
I get that one a lot.
Well, I mean, I think it's curiosity as far as with that. She was just like, hey, where did, because my father passed away, and she was just like, hey, where did Grandpa, you know, I remember Grandpa Phil. And I'm like, no, you don't, bro. Like, he was dead before you were born. And she's like, I remember him. And you're just like, she goes, you know, he's nice. And I'll be like, he was very nice, and that's very good. And it's like odd to have, it's odd to have these conversations.
It makes you think.
You're like,
they say kids have a different sense. They have a different.
Dude, you know, she's the same. She's a leader. She's getting to structure jokes.
Oh,
like she'll
cool.
tell me jokes, and you're like, yo, that shit was actually funny.
Yeah.
Like the way that her timing, everything. I love that. It's one of my favorite qualities to watch her be like, oh, you're the goofy one. I love that. Yeah. Just be that. And she's also the oddly strong one. Okay. You know what I mean? So my brother is
strong,
opposite.
Like physically?
Yeah,
like,
physically.
Or just like mentally?
Bro, she was banging out push-ups for me and then tried to do one-hander and just hit the ground. She was just like, yeah, I'm working on it. I'm like, all right.
How old is she?
She's like 7, 6,
That's awesome.
6.
That's awesome.
So, you know, for me to watch somebody who's nothing like my brother and more like me, he hates probably. Yeah. But when I go in there, we're telling jokes, we're building Legos, we're like, you're crazy, but she's asking me all these questions, and it's like, that to me is important. Yeah. And to have engaging conversations and building your daughter or a small person up, to have a parent-teacher conference and her be like, yo, she's a leader.
Yeah,
and you're
like, amazing.
I knew that.
Yeah, I was like,
I knew that.
I was like, you know, it was great. She had a couple like things that
you're like, she drinks coffee when she's here. You know that, right? She like walks in. She's like, fill me up, teach. We're going. And
she's like, it's espresso.
Yeah, it's espresso. It's only one shot. About 75 grams of caffeine, Dad.
No, but you're the role of like an uncle is cool too, because you don't have like the necessarily the disciplinary
I leave
job.
it.
You know,
I leave it. Yeah.
So it's being the cool, being able to connect it gives not only you but them and your brother almost like another outlet. Like, yo, man, go ask her what's going on.
Yeah,
She talks to you.
I love that.
You know,
that's
like
that's one of my favorite conversations.
Because there's a lot of, and that's why I'm so open with my daughter, because like I never want her to be like, I don't want to tell dad. She's already had times like that, you know, and then I had to be like, listen, you can tell me anything, and I had to prove her that like you could tell me anything.
Yeah.
Like she had a little boyfriend. You know
I'll kill that dude.
Well,
I mean, sorry.
I love this conversation. No, I love this conversation, because I was like, she was so like scared to tell me, and I'm like, in my head, it's like, okay, well, I remember when I first heard I was having a daughter, all my friends are, you're gonna get the golf clubs, you're gonna get the gun, you're gonna get the da da da. I'm like, yo, let's be real about this. If I'm the guy with the gun when she's 16, I'm going to jail.
Yeah,
Straight up. No bullshit. Like, you could joke about it all you want, but like if I'm really gonna threaten a 16-year-old kid, then obviously I haven't taught my daughter to pick the right guys.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure some of the trial and error comes with that. But my thing is like, okay, she's 6 now. She got a boyfriend. She has no idea. She watches little like you know, Zoe 101 TV shows and thinks that she knows. So it's like, okay. I know that they're heavily monitored in school.
Yeah.
So it's like there's nothing going, maybe holding hands or something, or like
yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like,
You
okay,
crazy.
if I'm open, you know, to her talking to me about this now, when it starts to be more serious, she'll just remember that she can always talk to me about that, and I'm not going to freak out. I literally had to desexualize the female body for the 9 months that I was getting ready to have my kid. Right, or for the 6 months once you find out that it's a girl.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, so we're all humans, we're animals, we have a reproductive system and a sex drive. That's gonna happen for her at some point. She's gonna get to that age. It happened to everybody I was in school with. It happened to myself. It happened to my dad. It happened to my mom. As weird as that fucking is, that is the human body, and the only reason that it's weird is because society has told us that it's weird.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, okay, so sex is this taboo thing that we're not supposed to talk about. You get AIDS and you die if you have it before you're married. Right?
Well, that sounds like what I got.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Or just like, are you gonna get pregnant before you whatever, blah blah. And it was such a thing that nobody wanted to talk about. Like I remember like being scared to tell my mother. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm oh man, I was 22. I was on my own. Like I had my own place, and I was like, there was no need for my mother to even be scared if she was gonna be like, I'm gonna cut you off. It's like, oh,
yeah.
You know, it was never that, but. I was just like, okay, how do I make sure that when she comes to that point of being like, I'm ready to date, I'm ready, like she just has all the ammo and all of the arsenal that she needs to be like radar on, like good guy, bad guy, whatever it may be, and then still have the, connection and relationship with me where she gets to be like, hey man, like, what do you think of this guy? Okay, like bring him over, let's see. Yeah. And I'm not gonna be the guy that's like. You remember Bad Boys 2?
Oh, yeah.
Bad Boys 2?
That's the best scene.
Motherfucker, you look 30.
You look 30.
I'm not going to be that guy.
Yeah.
You know, like.
See, I'd be that guy.
See, I don't think I have it in me to do that. Like,
I love intimidating people. It's so good.
I know that if she's doing that, I would know that at that point, if she's doing that, then she probably did see something in her. But I want to, as long as I can instill all those characteristics in her, and like, I'm not the best. I'm not a master at anything. So I'm just going by experience when I teach her, but I feel like I've experienced enough things to be like, hey, I've either been that guy before and I wasn't a good guy.
Yeah.
Or I've seen that guy before.
You could see yourself in them. You're like, oh.
Scariest thing in the world, bro.
That is, to me, like I look at the way now more than ever, the way that I treat, just people, never mind just, the opposite sex.
Yeah.
For me, it's always been like, I've been like, oh, dude, I was a dirtbag. Like, I'm such a dirtbag. And for me, it's like this growth period of like, dude, like I was just saying this. I literally said this to my girlfriend the other day. I go, I swear to God, I said this to her 2 days ago. I go, I'm starting to get to that point where it's not just about, like sex, that immediate impulse. Like, oh my God, she's got, fat butt. She got this.
Yeah.
I'm at this point now where I'm like, you know what I could do? I also could go make some money. Or you know what I could do? I also can go focus on business, or I can focus on building what we're doing here.
Yeah.
So not just trouble.
Finding somebody that, although like the impulse is cool, but there's so much more to it. Because like if I've been in a serious relationship before and it's a full-time job. There's no,
it really is.
Like there's no way around it. So like if you are, I was just listening to a podcast today with a comedian, and he was like, anybody that comes into my life now is coming into my universe.
Yeah.
So you can either build with me, or you can be down to be the person that just takes the ride and becomes part of it, and we just figure it out off of our other connection, whatever.
Yeah.
But like now it's more of like, can I sit down and have a conversation with you?
Yeah.
Do I want to leave as soon as sex is over? Because if that's the case, I don't even want to be there.
Bro, there's and I'm not going to bring up Saint Rogan during a podcast.
Yeah.
But bro, he said something so profound to me, like, well, to everyone.
Yeah,
He's like, yo, if there is, like, let's just say you're making decisions.
Yeah.
For a dude, he's like, yo, go jerk off first. And then if you still want to do it, then go do it.
Yep.
Because I remember for the longest time, I would have these very odd encounters with women, and it would be never had a one-night stand, never done any of those things. I'm not talking to a musician, so it's probably very different. But I'm just saying, never have I ever. I can honestly say that. As hoary as I was in my 20s, I can honestly say that. But I will say this. So for me, it would be like, go do that, and then tell me. And I'd be like, holy shit, it's like therapy. I'm like, I can't listen to this person. I can't even be around you for seconds afterwards.
That's sketchy.
So after I did that, you
like
check that. Yeah, you check that in. See, for me, being drunk, I love, as far as, I'm a conversationalist.
Yeah.
Dude, I will talk about this for the next like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Like, oh man, I needed this.
Yeah.
So for me, drinking only elevates me for conversation. It doesn't elevate me as far as looking for a female. It never has. I've never been that guy, ever. So, but for me, as far as
that's cool.
I've always liked that. I'm the
drunk
guy.
Conversations are fine.
Oh my God, I love drunk conversations. Bro, why do you think I was trying to hit that proper while we're here, bro? I was trying to do it. To be honest with you, I want to reach over and grab. Oh, I'm going to do it. I can do this. The cord's long.
Grab the coffee, too.
Oh, dude. Here, got this. Look at that. I'll do it. Connor, I'm not selling you shit. Actually, I am. I love Connor. So,
you getting a fight tomorrow?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bro, come on now. He's gonna do more coffee. I'm gonna do more whiskey. So, you want some?
No, I'm good, brother.
Oh, bro, dude.
I got things I gotta do today.
Oh, dude. I ain't got shit to do. I took the day off. So for me, conversations are always very important to me as far as to make some sort of stimulus and make something happen. Absolutely. For me personally. So, with that being said, I think that every time I've drank, it's never been, I want to make people laugh. I want to be the guy with people around me, which is why I wanted to get into comedy in the first place. But I did pick 2020 to do it, so probably not the best idea. So conversations, as far as the superficial sexual encounters, with people, it's always been like, that kind of started to fade. People would say I'm an old soul. I really crave conversation. And the reason why, every time I watch your stuff, it's the motivation and the discipline that I've always wondered about with you. So you kind of walked us through, a day and the things that you do, having, being a father, being, more apt to feel songs, to feel things. But what's your work ethic like? I mean, it's got to be insane. For some people, they got to go, yo, you're making me dizzy, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I make myself dizzy, honestly. It's funny you say that, because I'm going to be honest with you. Like, sometimes I bite off more than I could chew. Like, I had a snapping point the other day.
Yeah.
And
what happened?
I get it. So it was just we not really bit off more than we can chew. But when you do the shit on your own, you do everything. Like,
yeah.
And I have a 3-person team. It's me, my manager, and my engineer. Right.
Oh, shit.
And it's really like, it's really simple because it's all 3 of us, and the energy, and it's really just me and my manager as far as like the business side of it. My engineer plays a huge role, but it was just like, when you're doing it yourself, there's a lot, man. And we're trying to branch off into different things. We started doing some songs for TV shows, and stuff like that, and trying to keep that in line with possibly bringing some more people in on the team, but making sure that everything in line is our finances are right, and by the book and shit like that. And it's a lot. So it just got to the point where I was like, yo, man, I'm like stressed out. Like, I didn't want to tell him at all. Like, I didn't want to fucking say it. And the way I ended up getting to the point where the way I said it, I was just like, oh, Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Wrong delivery.
yeah. And I was just like, it was a really like escalating moment. You know, we were both like in the room, just feel like the boiling points of like him going at me, being a little jabs, and all of a sudden like, yo, bro, I'm just like, I'm scared, bro. Like I'm bugging right now. Like there's too much. I can't. And like I got the greatest team in the world, bro. Like he
Yeah.
was like, all right. He's like, all right, dude. Let's sit. He's like, well, let's make a list of everything we're doing. What can we cut out or put on the back burner for now? And focus on this other shit, because he's like, we're not gonna stop. He's like, we can't stop.
Yeah, stopping's not an option.
He's like, it's not an option. He's like, but what we can do is we can focus harder on some of these things that are working better, and we can just realign. And it was what I needed, bro. We ended up taking down some walls in a room, and then in like the little studio room we have in the crib. We redid the walls, we rearranged everything, we put up new decorations, we remodeled the whole shit.
Yeah.
So now it's like a new vibe when you go in there. It's like
it's huge.
It's huge.
It's huge.
And just to touch on like the determination and the work ethic. So I have scheduled studio sessions every Wednesday night and then every Friday in the afternoon.
Nice.
This was actually I didn't have one this week, so this works out well.
Perfect.
But and then so it's like 20% spent in the studio, and then like 80% is spent on the back end on the whole behind the scenes shit, from the promo videos to the photo shoots to the getting our releases ready, getting the masters ready, all this stuff. So
That's
it's like
awesome.
we take care of everything, but it's one of those things where you have to put yourself on a schedule, or like at least just get used. Like our routine now is me and my manager. Like he's like, dude, I could drive he lives in Glastonbury. He's like, I could drive from Glastonbury to Torrington with my eyes closed now.
I love that.
And the media room now in the house is like where we can do a lot of our media stuff, and it'll help. But there's also like things that we have to do. We have to travel for we do this. But it's just one of those things where it's like I'm so used to it now that like it feels weird not to do it. And I'm like one of those people where I have such a set routine. It's kind of a gift and a curse. I'll get stressed out and like bad anxiety attacks if I don't
do what you're doing.
Yeah, like, and it's weird because the anxiety attacks in turn cause me to be more lazy because I just like shut down.
Yes.
So then it like becomes a cycle, and I know you asked me about that earlier. Like, what's your cycle like? And I just tweeted about this the other day. I was like, dude, do my creatives have a funk, like like a roller coaster funk? Like it just is up and down.
I call it the Rodman.
Yeah, and so you go
Dennis Rodman, man.
So you go
shuts down, goes away.
Right now, I'm in a really cool spurt of like I'm writing and creating. Like in the last 5 days, or last 3 studio sessions, we probably got like 5 songs.
No shit.
So it's like it's just coming out right now. The ideas are flowing. We got the new room and shit. So everything feels good. But I know that the rut is gonna come in maybe like 2 months or something like that, where I'm gonna be like, damn, I can't figure this out. Why can't I write something worthwhile?
But you know it's gonna happen because it's happened, and it's like
it's like looking at like stock charts.
Highs and lows.
This happened last year at this time, so it might happen this year at this time. But it's like every couple months.
But it's like don't ride the highs and lows. You know, that's one thing that I said to everybody. Like with my company, with the things that we've done, with the things that I've accomplished as a person. It's like I no longer ride the highs and lows. Mm-hmm. I don't do that anymore. I stay right in the middle. So it's like when something good happens, great, move on. When something bad happens, fuck, move on. You know what I mean? So
basketball players, next play.
Same thing, man. So that's why, like, I noticed that so much, and I recognize that, and to see you with the creativity and how to stay what you're doing in such a market, in such a town, in such a state.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I made a promise to myself last year that I'd stop bitching about the state that I was in. Like the geographical location of Connecticut. I was like, all right, enough. It's like, I get it, but I'm not going to be that guy bitching. My life is good, man. Like, come on, man. I could say this whole list of things I wish, but I'm really trying to make things happen. And I notice somebody that's trying to make things happen, and that's all I want to be around.
Yeah, I stayed for that. I stayed in Torrington for that reason.
Yeah.
Because when I came up, I remember there was like a couple people. There was a couple people that had studios, and there was, and the location of where we are in Northwest Connecticut is tough. Nobody ever goes past Waterbury unless you need to. Nobody ever really just comes through Torrington to go other places. We kind of was like the smallest city in Connecticut. We get forgotten about, forgotten about, whatever.
Yeah.
But I was like, yo, there's 35,000 people in this city.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and they're all pretty accessible. Like, it's not like you can't, like,
talk to them.
You see a lot of the same people when you go to the stores and stuff like that. Like, so I'm like, okay, there was never anything that was accessible to me growing up? How do I get, enough people to tune in and be like, yo, like, I want to be your guy.
Yeah.
I want to be the guy that, like, you guys can get behind and be like, yeah, that's we won't, you know what I mean? So I was like, well, I don't want to just go out, because I see a lot of people like, you gotta leave, and I was like, I get that, I totally get it.
Well, you got to travel, but I don't think you don't necessarily have to leave. You have to travel, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities to leave, but I just haven't found that right one that was like,
That's the one.
That's the one. It's gonna be, I'm gonna be happy where I'm at. I'm gonna be with a good job, a good income, stuff like that. So I was like, why don't I just stick around until that moment comes? And we know that you can, like you said, you could travel. We travel. You can run a lot of your social media stuff, and you could put it in different places. It wasn't completely impossible, but I also got a lot of hometown love of people that were like, yo, when I filled 250 people in bocces.
Yeah.
Like, and that's like, if you've been to bocces, that probably looks insane.
It does look insane.
Dude, there was people that couldn't get in. There was like 100 people that couldn't get in because we couldn't fit them.
Yeah, they're on the curb.
They were downstairs. They were downstairs and we were upstairs.
Shit.
So it was like,
that's
me,
a good time though.
These are all people from Torrington and the surrounding areas. Like, this was cool to me, and like then when I got that, that appreciation and love for them, because I didn't want to leave that. Like, you guys are the, if I can't get you to like me, who can I get to like? And I also wanted to be able to walk down the street in my own hometown and have people be like, hey man, like, that's dope.
And especially in a town
so close, everybody knows everybody.
Yeah, but it's also, it's like, let's be honest, for the outlining towns, it's like Torrington is a rough town. You know what I mean? Like, and I mean that in a sense, like, not in tough, like, where crime is going to be, it's not crime riddled, but it's tough to get out, and it's huge as far as with heroin and opioid and I it's a tough situation to see so many people. Like, when I leave that town, like, I've moved all over. I've lived all over. I didn't, my the way that I was raised was not very, my parents split up, and I kind of like just ran off and did my own thing, and couch surfed and did that at a very young age, like 13, 14 on. Yeah. Oh, wow. Dude, it was great. It was awful, but it was great. I've been homeless, experience everything. So for me, the grit comes from that. But to be in a town where you're known for that, that's tough. That's a tough gig, man. So, it's a really tough situation to see so many people know us if you're from Torrington for heroin or for drugs. And for me to look at somebody like yourself and go, okay, he's trying to make it that we're known for something else. Yeah. And it's like, it's about fucking time. You know what I mean? Like, I totally hate, and honestly, if they find my Plenty of Fish or my Match.com, I said I won't date anybody from Torrington or hairdressers. I swear to God, dude. I swear to God. Or Torrington hairdressers. I said both of those statements on there. And don't look me up on Match or Plenty of Fish, which is probably, hopefully it's not like MySpace where it's just floating around. But I just think that that's admirable. And I get a lot of, like, people here go, why do people like think it's such a big deal that you open a business? I go, well, one, because of my past. It's been far from reputable, and I've just kind of owned my dirt. And then the other one is I'm from Torrington, Connecticut. Yeah,
it's weird because I remember, even the stigma of us not having any musical talent has come up in my journey. You know what I mean? Like, I had somebody one time, they were like, yo, I have a friend who's out west, and they're working with so and so and blah blah blah. And he was like, I'm gonna send out your music. And he was like, so he sends me this screenshot of the text, and it was like, yo, I got this artist, he's dope, I'm gonna send you some stuff. And she was like, where's he from? Connecticut. Oh, where? Torrington. He better be fucking good.
They said that?
They said that. No, I haven't.
Oh my God,
I
dude.
still can find the text, but yeah. And I mean, I'm confident enough in my music where I'm like, all right, bitch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
All right,
okay.
Cool. Like, but it was more of like, it just sucks that, we get that. But I mean, hey, like,
I get it though. We get it. It's not like,
I get it.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen some of the people that I never in my life thought would fall victim to it like bad.
Yeah.
It's different. I realize more. I talk about it a lot in music. Like, I realize now that it's some people I think are chosen with the whatever it is in them that just like it's hard to fight, and it's a battle all the time. And I give huge props to anybody. Like I've dealt with it myself. I've dealt with addiction issues and like issues myself. And that's kind of what Ashtray was about. Like that was where it was coming from. But I'm so open to change that I think it's I see it now in Torrington. Like we have more art galleries. We have more
restaurants,
beautiful
bars. Restaurants.
A lot of the restaurants are opening up more now and like looking for live entertainment.
Yeah,
and it's not like what it used to be. There's a reason to come sometimes.
Yeah, there's definitely an upgraded, way and way about it for sure. I think that maybe it's just that I have had so many bad memories for me personally, like just really nasty, awful things that have happened. But for me now, going back and seeing all my friends and enjoying the time spent is what I like the most. But to kind of piggyback off what we were saying, it's like, just let's end this thing. And it's like you're doing what you know to be meaningful, passionate. You're using delayed gratification, which we talked about a little bit before we started the podcast, and it was like that's a quality, that's a hard quality, to foresee, and you are navigating through just shit, and it sucks because, dude, it sucks, and that's what's so hard, like for people like us that are passion driven. It's like, dude, I love what I do, but I also like conversation. I like hanging out with friends, and I want to continue to do that. Yeah. But it's like to have my passion be put out there, and to have you have the mentality that you have where like, hey, some people are going to like this, some people are not going to like this.
So I had this weird, not resentment, but like, you have this weird angst towards it. And it's, so when I started being more vulnerable in my music and writing the Ashtrays and the Losing My Minds and the Letting Goes and shit.
That's a good one.
And
it's a banger.
It was like, thank you. It was like, you write this stuff and it comes from a place of who I am as a person and what made me, right? So I make sure that everything that I write is either a personal story that I've then taken the feeling from. I like to take the feeling from those stories. Like Ashtray is all about the feeling. Ashtray is all about that feeling that you're in at that point. My situation was very, very, very specific on why I was there with an ashtray by my bed, blah, blah. It didn't necessarily, it wasn't necessarily something that would connect with everybody. But that feeling of being in your room, for whatever reason it may be, the alone feeling, the feeling of like, yo, like what's going on here in my life? Like, why am I like this? Why is this ashtray full? Why am I so stressed out? Everybody's been there one way or another. So I was like, if I can capture that feeling, that will be the way that I can portray that in a song. So then you realize, like, you have people that hit you up and they tell you that they connected with it, and they're from Missouri, they're from Minnesota, they're from Arkansas, they're from Alabama, like all these different places, and you're like, oh, so maybe my story isn't that different. Where it's like maybe, maybe where I came from doesn't have as many opportunities as the other places, but yet here I am talking about my situation from this place, and there's other people that are like, yo, been there, and then you find out even like, oh, hey, they're not necessarily from a situation like that, but now it's just like, oh, so maybe it's not where I came from. Maybe It's just life. Maybe it's just like things, or maybe it's my own self. Maybe it's stuff that I'm doing that I need to get right. And then I'm like, oh shit, like I think my music, where you were saying like there's fun songs, there's the sad songs, the ashtrays, that's all just a reflection of who I am. Like there's days where I'm up here and I'm like, whew, let's rock. And there's days where I'm down here and I'm like, okay, I want to go hide under a rock.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, so though, and I the discipline comes in a sense of like, all right, dude, you may be having a bad day, and like I deal with my own shit, and I've figured out how now, and through a lot of deep diving and shit like that, I figured out if I'm going through something, I know what to do and what not to do.
So huge, man.
You know what I mean? So like I can get myself out of it, or at least get myself through it without going crazy. And
without self-destruction. Without self-sabotage.
Without deterring from my path of what my goal is, and setting myself back, because it's like you end up fighting yourself. And it's like, and if
Huge.
if I have this person that's like, yo, bro, like you wrote this goal down and you have this, you have to do this, you have to do that. It's like, okay, cool. You can't write a song right now. You can't go to the studio. You can't record. You're just not mentally there. It's not going to work. Don't force it. But there's this other shit. You got to work on your website. You got to return these emails. You got to make sure this site is set up. You got to do this. You got to upload this. You got to get this photo done. All this stuff. And you're like, okay, let me go do that stuff where I know it's like the math.
Yeah.
Like you go and you get it done and it's done. You can look at it. You go down the checklist. Okay, everything is done. Cool. That's done. Boom. It's not like a song where you're like, I need to make this from scratch. It's like, no, there's a beginning, there's an end, and if you get it done, it's done, and you can say at the end, which may end up making me feel better, like, oh, I just accomplished something, and then it kind of takes you a little bit out more.
Yeah.
But had I just gone on the couch and sat down and you know, smoked a joint and watched Pawn Stars, I would.
Yeah.
True story.
Yeah.
True story.
I really like Pawn Stars. Yeah.
Lost.
Super like it.
I'll give you like $1,000.
Yeah.
But you know, if I did that, I would wake up later on and be like, damn, like I feel even worse about myself, and then I'd keep going and keep going and keep going. So I figured out how to get myself out, and that's why I think I've excelled, because I haven't gotten to the. I mean, I think the low points are way more often than the high points, which is a weird career to be in.
It is insane. Yeah.
Those high points are worth it. Like, dude, when somebody came up to me one time and they were like, yo, man, my father passed away a week ago, and I have not turned off Ashtray once.
So good, dude. I'm telling you, man. You got 17 views because me.
Or when I dropped Holiday Song.
Yeah.
And I was like so nervous to drop a Christmas song. I was like, oh,
I liked it.
This is good. Oh, so the true story of Holiday Song is we were in and we were like, okay, like let's do it. I was like, everybody has, like, Bieber's got one. I was like, Elvis has got one. Fucking Sinatra's got one. Everybody that's a legend has got one.
Yeah.
I was like, so it's obviously something that is doable, and it showcases your vocal abilities, it showcases your, you know, whatever. And I was like, we'll do a cover, and we were like, nah, let's write one.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So then we were like, what do we write about? And I was like, we started with like, I had to write a holiday song.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, okay, so it's already telling people.
And then you're like, that's it.
No, well, I was at first we were like, yeah, that's it, and we wrote about like the greatest holiday ever. Like I remember there was like a line about like getting like socks from your grandma. Like it was like fun, kind of funny, playful. Yeah. We wrote it one night. We got to the studio the next night, and we're sitting there, and we're singing it. And I look at my manager, and he's just like, "Nah."
Yeah.
I'm like, "It's not it." And I'm like, "No, it's not, bro." I'm like, "There's nothing to connect to in this." I'm like, "There's nothing that
makes it
even makes me be like, yeah, this is great." It's not that I don't love Christmas, but I'm not like a, you know, like it doesn't do it for me like that to hear a Christmas song. You know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, what about those people? What about like? And I had just had a friend whose mother passed away. Two friends whose mother and father had passed away, and I was like, I know this Christmas is hard for them.
For a lot of people.
I had been thinking about them, and I'm like, that's it. I'm like, not everybody likes this shit.
Yeah.
What do you do when you're walking in the Christmas store and you hear it and you're just like,
Jesus Christ. I can't hear Mariah Carey though.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
it's the
you're like, all right, I get it. All I want for whatever.
You know, it's like. And then it was amazing to me, one, because I shot the video in Torrington.
I seen that.
How many people were like, even Eleanor Carbone reached out.
By the Warner? It was by the Warner, wasn't it?
It was right on the corner of Main Street and Water Street.
Okay, yeah.
Or, like Main.
It's over by there, yeah.
Right in that little Franklin Street plaza.
Yeah.
And like she was like, thank you for using the thing, blah, blah. Like it was cool, and we put it in, and we were able to put it in like the Torrington Facebook group and show, but hey man, we used it for this.
We used our.
And then there was the people that hit me up like, yo man, like this song is pulling on my heartstrings. Like
it's good.
Yeah, I was like, okay, that was successful.
Yeah.
Even if 3 people hit me up, but it was like a lot. Like,
well, I sent it to like 10 people. Yeah. I remember I was like, yo, I dig this a lot, and I sent it out. And they're like, who is this? And I can't say, but one of the girls was like, yo. I was like, hey, easy, man. I sent that. It was a holiday song. You hear that shit? Nasty. You're offending him with your female gaze.
It was something different, but
I'll talk to you about that after we get But no, I mean, you clearly know who you are. Yeah. And that is what attracted me to having you here. You know what I mean? Like, I can't have conversations with these people, with people who are in their own way. And you seem like you have gotten out of your own way.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, it's like, hey, we don't ride the highs and lows. We do what we need to do. You know, and I respect that. And that's what's, like I said, what was so attractive to. Makes me feel like I'm not alone. You know, to be honest with you, like there's times where it's like, fuck, like, am I doing the right thing? Am I risking the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? And we talked about risk and the financial, like I said before we started the podcast, and it was like, dude, it's like, you could do whatever. Listen to me, seriously, like on a serious note, and I know you know this, but it's like, you could do whatever the hell you want to do. If you want to make a business, you want to do this, just do it. Yep. Let it happen. The risk is what makes it beautiful. What makes it, you could get punished. Yo, don't get it twisted. You will get it punished. And I've slept on, but what I risked was like, I know who I am now.
Yep.
And I love who I am. I'm not the drinks on the beach guy. I'm not the fantasizing about vacation. Yeah. I'm the workhorse. I'm the workhorse that every once in a while disappears. I pull a Rodman and I go to Vermont with my family and I hug them more than I've ever hugged them. I tell them more than I've love them. I make them laugh, and we shoot guns and we have fun, and we go off road and we do shit like that. That's who I am. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm a hardworking person that loves to cut loose and go wild, and then come back to that. Ooh, I'm ready. And to some people that sounds too violent. Like, it's like, I mean violent as far as the trajectory of change.
Yeah.
But to me,
drastic.
I've taken up the point that, yo, I'm a Rodman. You know what I mean? I'm all right with that.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that definitely my team, they're like, yo, you just gotta let him be. You gotta let him do this.
That's huge, though.
You know what I mean? And yeah, it's funny because it's one of those things where if I was to not then deliver, then it would be like, yo, we need to talk.
Yeah.
How much do you take self-help books? Like, how much have they helped you?
The psychological tricks and to know yourself. Yeah, I think self-realization is huge with me. Like, when I started to,
until we're an hour in. And
we
talk about
self-realization. Now we did. To know who I was and how people perceived me.
Yeah.
Were with the combination of the two, with knowing myself and then knowing, how you see me, and combining the two with real self-realization to go, some people think I'm an asshole. And then to go, some people think I'm just a silly goose all the time. And to combine that with who I actually am, I'm finally at the spot where when I read books, I'm like, that hit me this way because of this.
Oh, okay.
So the self-realization books were huge.
That's dope.
And so
that's kind of where I'm at right now with like my music.
It's
like, I know that if I were to hand you like a USB full of my music and you don't like it, that's totally cool with me.
Yeah,
that's totally
huge.
Because I'm not trying to get you to like anybody but myself.
Yeah,
and I'm not even trying to get you to like me. Like, it's like, if we don't connect, we don't connect, and that's totally cool because I haven't given you anything fake, so I know that there's not a genuine connection there anyway. So it's like, just move along.
It's okay, and you have to be okay with that. I've had people come in and they'll be like, "Whoa, that's a little bit." Like with my company, it's been like, okay, hey, that's a little too much for me, or hey, that's this. And I'm like, hey, that's fine. It is what it is. And you have to be okay with that. You're not going to be there for everybody else. Yeah. But I also like it's just like, it is what it is. So it's like, well, what are we doing? You know what I mean? There's not much I can do for you, Papa. You know what I mean? So.
But that's when I think it becomes either it works or it doesn't.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it is what it is.
I'm realizing that a lot right now. Talk.
Yeah, I'm gonna piss so many people off because I've said this on this show so many times. But what sign are you? And I don't believe in that shit. But what sign are you?
I'm an Aries.
Oh shit, you're an Aries? I would not have guessed that. Yeah. Sorry. See, that's why it's bullshit. You guys got to chill with that. But I'm just saying.
It's funny. A lot of people.
I thought you were like I'm a Gemini. I get and my head trainer that I have for my business is an Aries. She keeps me organized. She tells me how it is. It's the best. Yeah, but I am
very hard-headed, very stubborn.
Oh God, dude,
very impatient.
Oh, she's so impatient. It's crazy. But I am like I am the like creative. People want to be. I'm not honking my own ween here, but I'm just saying like that's what I am, and I need somebody like that. Yeah. So it's weird that you said that because I would have thought that you would have been more of like that.
Yeah. I think Aries is a fire sign. I think that's what it means. I don't know. I don't know. I just listen. The only thing I know about it is
that's what she said to me. She's like, "You're an Earth sign, a wind or whatever."
Is when 80% of the time.
When does Captain Planet come out? Is my question.
When I'm asked, what are you? If if a woman asks me what I am and I say Aries, they're like, oh.
Really?
Yeah, like I don't know why we're like.
She's like, you're a fire. You're a fire sign.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, yeah, I'm fire.
Some
this
of them
is
are like,
fire.
oh, that's really rad. And then like, I remember one time this girl was like, well, what time were you born? Like she told me like about like the moon rising, whatever it is. I don't know anything about it really. I really don't. No disrespect to anybody that does. I'm gonna disrespect. I'm uneducated on it, so I'm gonna talk about it as if I'm an uneducated.
Oh, because you're talking about magic, bro.
So just know that going into it, I'm very uneducated. But she was like, so what time were you born? And she tells me, and she's like, oh, you're a Scorpio moon, and the whole room was like, oh my god, it makes so much sense. I'm like, what does that mean?
Yo,
like,
what do you mean?
Like doing, but I'm gonna keep it a buck. I start doing the research, and I'm like, yo, this is me. I'm like, this is me in a weird way, and I know it may be
gonna piss me off because
no, I'm just, and I don't go by it, but I was just like, oh, that's weird because like that is
you are so fire. You're a fire. That is
strangely like myself, but I don't know much about it. I haven't gone into it, but I do know a lot of people that are very into it.
Oh, dude, I know. Like most of my audience have been like, you know what? I've noticed
the reason that it doesn't bother me. It's I don't know if I believe in it or not, but the reason it doesn't even like cross my mind sometimes is because I've never heard anybody like go do something really hateful or stupid and then been like, it's because I'm an Aries. You know what I'm saying? Like I've never been like they don't do anything bad and then blame it on their sign. Like you know what I'm saying? Like they may be like a bad character trait or something like that. But no one's going and just like punching people in the face and be like, it's because I'm a Gemini. And then like
I'm
a
Gemini.
So it's like as long as like, you guys are trying to find like as long as it's like people are coming out better people, it's like fuck it, why not?
I tie it to the same reason why I think dudes like we've all been around this guy. That the guy has been drunk at a party and he had like Jägermeister. And then the next day he's like, what did I have last night? And you're like, that was a problem. I had Jaeger. You can't give me Jaeger, guys. And you're like, no, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
That's why. And he's like, no, man, I'm telling you, I can't. It makes me angry. It's like, you were angry before because your mother didn't hug you enough. And this is why we're in this situation.
And it comes out when you're drunk.
Exactly.
You're not mad at me. You're mad at your dad.
Yeah, you're mad at your dad and you're mad at your mom.
Line from Big Daddy?
Yeah. I think
you're not mad at me.
You're not mad at me. You're mad at your dad. I hate my dad. So listen. Holy shit. We spent an hour. To be honest with you, all the sweat is gone and my body is dry. You make me comfortable.
That's good.
Oh, dude. And I wore black.
That's important. That's important in podcasts.
And you did not say shit about how tight my shirt is.
Oh.
You think it's too tight?
You got muscles, man. We could rock.
God bless.
I can't.
God bless.
I look like Snoop Dogg and
bro.
Wiz before the UFC.
You look like Sean O'Malley. You look like Sugar Sean O'Malley. Dude, he's amazing.
Oh, is he fighting tomorrow?
Fighting tomorrow, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, that dude is ready to tune somebody up. You look exactly like him. To be honest with you, if you had rainbow cornrows in your hair, dude, it's like you are brothers, George.
I want to get in here and do some cardio.
Oh, bro, let's do it.
Boxing and shit.
But, dude, I am, seriously, though. I am
really
down.
For my stress.
Just letting you know, every Saturday morning, we do it here. And we have a small group. Justin comes, and we beat the shit out of bags, and we just have a good time. You want to talk about something, Aries sign, fire sign, would have a blast. Dude, you have a blast. But seriously, dude, you're welcome anytime. We do have to close the sign to close this out with one thing. We have hell yeah and hell nah. Did you see this?
Yeah.
Did you see this?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I did it on yours.
Okay. So we have hell yeah, hell nah. So the first one is energy drinks. Are you a fan of the energy drink?
I am. Yeah.
Red Bull? Yeah. Like, will you drink anything else? Give me the list.
I don't really know. I don't really go away from it.
Gives you wings.
Some of them are just so hit or miss that like I don't want to run the risk. I don't want to run the risk of like, oh, I just paid $4 for this piece of shit.
Are you about caffeine and confidence?
So much caffeine and so much confidence.
Dude, to be honest with you, that's my next shirt. I swear to God.
That's awesome.
I swear on my dead dad that is my fucking next shirt.
Yeah.
Caffeine and confidence. So
yeah. I'm on like my third cup of coffee since I've been here. So yeah. And
dude, I've drank like four of those.
I went to a restaurant before I came here and sat by myself and read my book and then had like 2 cups.
What do you feel about 5 Hour Energy, Rockstar, or Monster Energy? I know we totally just shifted.
Not really my thing.
Not really a thing. Too much like or too much liquid. Can't just drink all that big ass can.
Oh
bro.
Yeah, no, like
5
I always said like 40 ounces always blew my mind. Like not only can I not drink a 40 ounce of liquor, I couldn't drink 40 ounces of apple juice, nonetheless like 40 ounces of like malt liquor.
I'm an old school Steel Reserve guy.
I mean, yeah,
Edward Scissorhands type.
They get warm by the time I'm done. I just can't put that much content in my
We
stomach.
need to drink together, like
Dude,
creatively.
Dude, I'm so creative. If we're gonna creative drink, I'm a wine drinker.
Okay, we need to talk about this afterwards.
I will write some great music on.
Dude, I swear to God,
Red
dude,
Bull Energy. I mean,
I want you to hold me and I want you to sing to me, and that's that.
I was not expecting that.
You're like, yeah, I guess I could. Yeah, it's gonna be a weird video, but it'll be fine. So
edit that out.
No, I am not editing that out. So Red Bull, you're a Red Bull fan. I'm a 3D fan. That shit is new.
I have a Red Bull refrigerator in my kitchen.
God damn, man. I didn't know you were doing so well.
No, I didn't buy it.
Yeah. You're like, it was a present. It was a gift.
It's my roommate's.
Yeah, it's no big deal.
I'm not even doing that well to have my own spot.
Yeah, I call my girlfriend's my roommate. I'm like, yeah, I got a roommate. And they're like, oh, yeah, is your girlfriend? I'm like, yeah, it's my girlfriend. Yeah. So
She loves that.
she's like, oh, this is great. Dude, she's a redhead, so she's going straight to hell. So, no, seriously, they're a lot of fun. Try it out. Red Bull. I'm for 3D. Have you heard about the 3D?
No.
I'm gonna send you a 6-pack.
Bang. Bang is all right.
It's too aggressive of a name to me. You know what I mean? It's too aggressive. No, I gotta send you. I will send you a 3D. You try it. They are larger, so you can drink half.
That's cool. Studio
and then
sessions.
inject the rest. You know what I mean? Whatever you want to do, but chug the rest.
From Torrington.
Yeah, you're from Torrington. Inject the rest. Jesus Christ. So do that. So listen, I mean, I'm gonna hell yeah. Energy drinks. Are you gonna hell yeah?
Yeah, I'll hell yeah.
You'll hell yeah?
And if anybody's got an energy drink, they need a sponsor.
Yeah, you don't
I'll
seriously.
I'll literally
Sponsor.
I'll stop drinking Red Bull and only drink yours. And then every time you see me on camera, I'll have one in there.
3D. I'm telling you, they are larger. They can make a small one. Fuck. See, 22% said hell yeah, and the rest said hell no. Look at these. Can you believe?
I think aren't they bad for you? They bad for you?
I mean, caffeine definitely it does. We know this now that it lowers your testosterone, but who needs that anyway? Am I right? No, to be honest with you, you really shouldn't drink as many. I don't drink a lot. I drink 1 cup of coffee a day, except for today, which
I
was
drink like I don't drink that many. I probably drink maybe 4 a week.
Okay. So that's not too bad.
Like
you'll be
studio
fine,
sessions and
bro. You'll be fine.
Like that,
when we do cardio, we're gonna light it up. Now the next one. So excessive pillows on the bed. Are you about excessive pillows on the bed or against it?
So I have 8 pillows on my bed right now, but hear me out. Why? It's just because I haven't. The other ones haven't died yet.
Oh no! Oh, so they're discolored.
The other one.
Are they discolored, gross pillows?
No. Once discolored, gross is not.
Oh
is
man,
not
I'm
my
from
thing.
Torrington, man. That shit. You should know that you keep those.
I know. Like
for a bum friend that's on the ground.
I've definitely had one. I got 8 good ones.
Yeah,
I think I was at the store. There was like a sale on pillows, and I was just like spending.
You're like, this is what we're doing.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Yeah. So it's just, do you take them off the bed and then get on the bed?
I got a king size bed, so I just throw them to the
All
side.
right. Bro, what
I
the
just
fuck?
throw them to the. I just
I got
put
a
them on
queen.
one
Are
side.
you? You're
I
like,
just put them on one side, and then I
and then
I cuddle with all my pillows.
I'm like, what are you doing with those pillows on the other side? You're like, I just, I wish it was.
I lean against them and act like they're a person.
Oh my God, I love you, Megan. I don't know if there's a Megan. Wouldn't it be crazy if there was a Megan?
No Megan.
No, there's no Megan. No, so I have many pillows, and like my girlfriend can fall asleep like anywhere.
Oh,
like,
I have such a hard time.
It's
I have to be like, I have like a
I have a pillow for my head. I got a pillow for my to lay on the side with. I got a pillow between my crotcheses, right near my beans and my bits.
Yeah.
And I got one. It's like it's like ergonomic. For these thick boy legs that I have.
You're like packed in.
Bro, I have pillows on pillows on pillows.
You're like an Amazon box.
Yeah.
So
I got a weighted pillow go on my side to make it feel like somebody's rubbing my back to tell me
shit.
everything is going to be okay. You know what I mean?
Shit.
And then usually there's a cat on there somewhere.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Which is a live fur pillow.
So you just don't move when you
Bro, no, I move around too much, but then the pillows shift with me.
With you, wow.
And my life, it has been sad. So, I feel like when I'm shutting my mind off, I need
be held.
Those are sadness pillows, bro. Those are sadness.
He's like, they're only wet and stained because of the tears.
They're nasty. It's so much. I'm a sweater too. So listen, we got 53% of people said hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, because I think it's better to have more than not enough. Like you don't ever want to like you would run into a situation where you're gonna have somebody like in your bed and like
Yeah, it's like, do you have any more pillows?
It's like, yeah, here you go.
"No."
And you give them. It's like if it's somebody you care about, like you give them like the nasty pillow or like.
You could be a weird dude though and have like one pillow on your bed, and
yeah.
that would be a huge turnoff for a lady or a man.
Yeah, there's a certain level of
like you're lonely.
bachelorism that like you know is acceptable when you're not trying to date.
Yeah, you just walk up and
Like
you're
if you're like the guy with like the bed on the floor and the PS1 and the PS3 on the computer or
that was
whatever.
me for so long.
That's totally cool. Like if you're cool with that, live
It
your life.
wasn't,
I'm a
though.
bohemian, dude. I need a bare minimum things in
yeah,
my life.
I'm a minimalist.
But I have over the years, you know, acquired things where I don't need to be a minimum. I have them already. So
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
It's like I'm set up nice. Where if I move, I don't need to be a minimalist.
Yeah.
But
You're like, I got pillows on the
would totally
side.
be cool with like
There's
a
7.
twin size bed and a TV. Like I might suck, but I could survive on that.
But you're also like, I have 7 other pillows besides the one I'm laying on that I can embrace and make me feel whole at night while sleeping.
Or I'd just be like, yo, I'm
alone.
in this king size bed. I feel pretty good about myself right now. Like,
yeah. And are you sleeping alone these days?
fuck yeah.
Oh, really?
Fuck yeah.
Dude,
I don't have
I'm
time. Like I told you before, it's a full-time job.
I did
Maybe
not guess that, dude. I would
don't
have figured it'd be like,
Dude, I don't have time, man. It
Really?
sucks. But I'm also very self-aware now where like I'm not trying to like bring somebody into a universe that like I'm not ready to have somebody in.
Yeah,
I got things, you know, either with my music that I'm trying to do that I'm so involved in, or my kid, or like my own issues that I still haven't gotten right yet. Which for me to go out in the world and be like, hey, come build something with me is like, nah, bro, you gotta fix your foundation first before you can build. So
and another thing is you're like, did you just push all 7 of those pillows off the fucking bed? You're like, you better pick those shits up.
Or like the one that comes in, she's like, I think you don't have enough pillows.
You don't have enough
Like,
pillows.
I don't
You're
have
like,
enough.
I mean, like,
Jesus
hey,
Christ, I was gonna
you
tell you
are
to
the
take some home
one.
with you.
You
Like-
are the one.
Yeah, like
She brought 3 pillows.
come
like,
with
oh,
none, leave with a pillow.
we're
It's
like, we are
great.
going to have some fun, girl. So listen, I mean, everybody hell yeah had excessive pillow use,
I think
and I'm actually with you on this.
comfort is cool. You could it's like you can always take them off. You can always toss them.
See, dude,
As long as you have like a table to toss them on. I don't like people that toss their pillows on the floor. That's
I don't like that. Well, it gets nasty on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit is nasty. Yeah. So the last one has nothing to do with either one of the ones we
beautiful.
just did. How do you feel about rat tails?
Rat
And I mean rat tails, bro.
yeah.
How do you feel about rat tails?
They're a no go.
Oh, you think you're a no-go?
They're a no go unless unless there's like a reason for it. I feel like
Tell me the reason why somebody would have a rat tail. If you say culturally, I'll slap you.
I know. I said that, but I'm trying to think of a reason, and I can't.
I think it's like, hey, you know what I don't like? The opposite sex. I think like it's like, you know what I don't like? I don't like intimacy from anybody.
I don't like human interaction.
Yeah. You know what I like? I like when. See,
I would love to talk to somebody with a rat tail. Maybe next time around we'll call somebody with a
yeah,
rat
be
tail.
like, hey, how's this going for
Be like,
you?
yeah, what was the did you grow your hair out first and then you cut around it?
That's what I'm
or
saying.
Did you always have that and
Long
just
hair.
left that to grow out?
That's what I'm saying. That's my question. How did the rat tail become like, you know what? Leave that. Leave it there. It's like the soul patch for the back of the head.
I don't want a mullet. I
Yeah.
just want.
It's here, which I do have right now. I mean,
Yeah,
you have a
yeah.
way better.
Yeah, I can't.
And
you
you're
have a
from
way better
Torrington.
chin
We're
strap
from
than-
Torrington.
you have
Yeah,
a way
see?
better- I can't do that.
Yeah,
I
well,
need-
it's
I
because
need
I'm
some oils
dark,
and
but look at
shit.
how dark my mustache is.
Yeah,
I
man.
look like
I got
Mario.
some
I'm not
weird
tall enough to be
colors going
Luigi.
in. I got some weird like light tans and whites and shit going in here.
But I mean, it still looks good. You grow a mustache well, like I grow a mustache. But I'm saying the soul patch is back here.
Yeah.
It's direct. It's like through deep in the face on the back.
The ZZ Top soul patch.
And some girl or some young lady is like,
What were the votes on that?
oh, dude, it's insane.
It had to have been like hell. There's so many that said hell yeah. Dude.
No,
There's
no,
so
no.
many that said hell yeah. Just
No.
because.
Okay. This one's like one of the most. It's almost 100%. It's 91% said hell no, and 9% said hell yeah. I looked at the 9% that said hell yeah, and they did it sarcastically.
Yeah, that's why I
They're like,
figured way
"Oh,
more
yeah.
people would be doing that.
You know what? He needs to be, or they might have been woke. You know, they're like, you know what?
if he wants
If he wants to, it's like, shut the fuck up.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I went back to before. Do what you want to do.
But
But
just know there's consequences. Yeah, it's like, have a rat tail. You're not going to be touched by the opposite sex at all.
It's just one of those things. It's just
They hell
business
no.
in the front, tiny little party in the back.
Dude, that is the
Small
smallest.
get-together. COVID party in the back.
party. Hey, make sure there's only 3. Oh, dude, we ended it on a COVID thing. That was great. Dude, seriously, it has been
It's been fun.
Seriously, absolutely amazing having you here.
We'll have to do round 2 sometime.
Oh, dude, we are going to do it, and I have some questions, but I'll wait for until we shut this off.
I don't think we're going to do it after talking about round 2 is the best way to.
Hey, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do round 2. I'm gonna grow out a rat tail. I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna show up at your studio. Like, I need to record.
Hey man, look what I got.
Hey, you'll be like, you know what? You need to get out.
So what's your music name? Earthworm Jim.
Earthworm. Dude, good reference.
Game?
Good.
Remember that game?
Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Listen, where can they find your content? What do you have going on right now? Just kind of at an ending.
Everything right now is if you search any streaming platform, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Deezer. You search Ian Matthew, you'll find me. Social media, Ian Up North on Twitter, Ian Up North on Instagram. Right now, you go to ianupnorth.com. Facebook is facebook.com/Ian Matthew Music, which we're trying to get everything right now to be uniform, so everything will be Ian Matthew Music very soon.
Hell yeah.
So, but for right now, if you're trying to look, searching Ian Matthew is probably the best bet. If you just Google Ian Up North or whatever, but yeah.
Do it. Get it. Dude, it's great having you.
Appreciate it, man.
All right. We're out.
That's a wrap.
Later. Dude, my legs are so sore.
Really?
From sitting here.
Oh, for real?
They got to move.
Oh, yeah. You're